Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer, we're going to do another one from Other Half Brewing. These guys are up in New York. This is their 4th anniversary quadruple dry hopped Imperial IPA. This comes from Lucas. He sent this to me along with the one we did yesterday, the other half brewing beer, and he writes, 4th anniversary quadruple dry hopped IPA brewed with Pilsner malt, oats, and wheat, hopped aggressively with Citra and Galaxy hops, guys. Very nice hops in this beer. This is a big beer too, guys. So this is a 10%er. 10%. Oh Lord, that scares a lot of people. Perfect cannon to drink at home. You would not want to drink more than one of these if you're driving. And even one of these may put you over the limit. Drink responsibly, guys. Don't hurt yourself, don't hurt anybody else. Over to Untappd on this particular beer. We still don't have the IBUs. These guys that make a lot of these beers don't want you to know what the IBUs are, or don't seem to care whether you know it or not. And this one does have a date on it. It says 01/31/18. Today is the 24th of February. It's not even a month old in the can. So, and it does have the ABV of 10% on the front. I like it when I see these breweries doing these plain Jane silver cans with just a plain stick-on label. They're not having somebody print up a lot of specialty cans, which drives up the cost of the beer, in my humble opinion. We don't need all that fancy artwork, because more than likely it's just going to go in a trash can or a recycling bin. Some of the guys like to save some of the bottles and cans, so I'm not one of those. I don't have room for the amount of beers that I review and drink to save that. I would have a warehouse full of them by now. So I just assume them spend their money on what's inside the package, whether it's a can or a bottle, than a bunch of fancy artwork that's silk screened or printed on the can. Just costs that we don't need to incur. Like I said, I'd rather them spend their money on what's inside the package than on the package. This was, like I said, was sent to me by Lucas. Thanks again, Lucas, for sending me these wonderful beers from up there. You guys in New York that can get these beers from Other Half. These guys do some really, really tasty stuff. Yesterday's beer was a 10. I'm hoping maybe we'll get 2 10s in a row. I'm not sure that's going to happen. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Commercial description. Let's see if it says anything different. Untappd has this as our 4th anniversary quadruple dry hopped Imperial IPA. It was brewed with Pilsner malt, oats, and wheat. We hopped it aggressively with Citra, Galaxy, and Enigma, Eldorado, Mosaic, and Citra Lupulin powder. Ooh, they've used powder on this one too. That usually means it's going to be pretty intense, guys. The final 2 dry hop additions were just Galaxy and Citra Lupulin, and Mosaic, soft and juicy. 10%er now, guys. Just remember that. A lot of times it's hard to hide that much alcohol. We shall see how well they did this particular version being a 10%er. So that's all we need to talk about. Let's stop talking and start pouring. Let's pop the top on this 16-ounce can and get it into the glass to see what we have. Yeah. Oh, looks pretty cloudy. Looks like a juice bomb. Gonna get lucky again. I love this style of beer, guys. While I'm pouring this, I'll tell you the cuisine is barbecue cheese, peppery Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar. Your stronger cheeses, meat, game, grilled meat, and salmon. Glassware snifter, tulip oversized wine glass. I got my favorite tulip glass. It says here because it's over 8%. Beer Advocate says you can cellar it. Don't do that. That's why they go to the extreme of having a date machine and putting the date on it so you can drink it fresh. Do that. Don't cellar this beer. You'll regret it unless you just like a malt bomb. Just barely covering the top of the head as far as the top of the beer as far as the head. Looks like a glass of orange juice, guys. Absolutely outstanding looking in the glass. This looks like a New England style Imperial or a double IPA. Once it gets to the 10%, I call it Imperial. The 8 to 10%, I call them doubles. Once you get to the 10%, that is definitely Imperial. Good looking beer. Looks like a glass of orange juice. Incredible. I love this style of beer, guys. It has ruined my palate. Awesome looking. That is absolutely outstanding looking beer. To the nose we go. Outstanding aromas, guys. I'm getting pine, grapefruit, mango, pineapple, oranges, papaya, maybe even some melon and some peaches in there. Now I'm not smelling alcohol, but I am smelling the Imperial version of this beer. I don't want to say it's boozy, I don't want to say big alcohol notes. I can tell by smelling this, this is not a 6%er. Wow, it's time. Let's get it on. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Lucas. Wow. Absolutely delicious, guys. But I can tell you this is Imperial. I can tell it's a 10%er. A bit more of the alcohol in there, but it's not off-putting, it's not burning or not doing anything crazy like that. I can smell when it gets up to this kind of percentage in the ABV. I can smell it and I can taste it whether it's boozy or not. I can tell this is a big beer. But it is done extremely well. The bitterness is not off-putting. I can tell it's an Imperial, like I said. But the bitterness, a lot of times you get to these 10% IPAs, the bitterness is well over 100. And you can taste that a lot of times. I mean, it has a strong bitterness to it to balance it out. These guys have figured out the secret of not having that super strong bitterness to their beers. Very balanced. Well done. I don't know who the head brewer is there, but definitely knows what they're doing. Alright, we're going to do the back end pour on this. I don't see how it could possibly change the color or see any kind of chunkiness or anything coming out of the bottom of the can. Outstanding looking beer, outstanding tasting beer. As you can see, it's already leaving awesome lacing on the glass. Got a feeling we're going to have a really good number of beer here again. Maybe 2 10s in a row. I'm going to sip on it, let her taste it, and we'll come back and see where she ends up. Alright guys, I'm back. I've had a few sips on this while this will come up to room temperature. Probably been sipping on it about 30 minutes now. Other half loved it, and so do I. Outstanding. Ultimately impressible. Is that a word? Very tasty, guys. Big beer, though. Very tasty. Alcohol super well hidden. I am getting a little bit of it because I can tell when I get to the 10%ers. Just by tasting it, I can get some of that malt, how much malt it's used and how much hops was used to balance this beer out. Super impressive. It really is. I would buy this beer all day long if I could get it here. Outstanding. I believe we got 2 pretty impressive beers from Other Half Brewing back to back. Outstanding aroma. It doesn't get any better than this, guys. And if you like these big whopping 10%ers, Imperial, Triple IPA, if you will. That's what this is. Outstanding. Not a joke. Just by smelling and tasting the beer that I have here, as opposed to the one we did yesterday from this brewery, I can smell the difference as far as the alcohol. Not that I'm smelling the alcohol, but I can tell that how much more malt was used and how much more hops was used to balance this beer out. And as you drink beer, you will notice that. Guys that's been drinking craft beers for a long time, like I have, you smell that. You can, and I don't want to say it's boozy, and I don't want to say it's alcohol, but you smell how much malt was used in this, and how much hops it takes to balance that much malt. Absolutely outstanding job from these guys. They got it figured out. A lot of times it won't be balanced like this is. Either the hops will overpower the beer, or the malt will overpower the hops, or the alcohol will be too present, or whatever the case may be. This one is super balanced for what you got here. Unbelievably. For a 10%er, drinks like a 7%. If you didn't know, I smell the difference. I taste the difference, but it's not boozy. It's not heavy on the alcohol. Now, if it's the first, if you've never had a 10% beer and this is the first one you've tried, it may be a little heavy on your palate. But to me, with the amount of beers that I've had so far, I found this very, very enjoyable and very well done. So 10 for me on this one. We got 2 10s in a row from this brewery. Absolutely outstanding. The head brewer there knows exactly what they're doing. So with that being said, 100 for me, guys. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.65. Outstanding numbers from those guys. You don't see that a lot from those guys over there. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.6. Almost the best numbers I've seen from those guys. I've not seen any 4.7s or bigger. So outstanding from everybody. A+. It's an A+ beer. If you can get this particular beer in your area, I don't know how far they distribute out from New York where they're brewed, you ought to pick it up. You ought to give it a try. And if I could get it here, I would buy it regularly. Other half brew, it would be in my fridge all the time, especially this style that they're brewing now. They do it very, very well. So let's wrap this one up, guys. Blown away from the last 2 beers from Other Half Brewing out of New York that I've had. Very, very well done. That's all. If you've had this one from Other Half Brewing out of New York, this is their 4th anniversary Imperial IPA. It is outstanding, guys. You need to pick this up if you can get your hands on it. If you can get your hands on it, drink it fresh. That's what you should do. I love this beer. These juice bombs or New England style IPAs that are coming out of the New England area and other parts of the country. These guys are doing it very, 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 very well. So, if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. And until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.